Hey everyone, it's Jeff here today, and unfortunately we can't begin with a match because I don't have enough cards in my deck, but today's going to be all about abilities that kind of all creatures can get. So, there are a couple I probably missed, but these are the ones that you'll see the most, and there's Indestructible, which is exactly how it sounds. It basically can't die. But there are some limits to that, and we can talk about that more. For now, we're going to talk about the ones here. So there's Lifelink. It's kind of, the name sort of explains it. Whenever this creature is dealt damage or deals damage, I would gain how much damage it deals. So let's say I swing, and if you don't know how the battlefield works or how to sort of begin, you can see the videos in the top right corner. But basically, if I were to tap my creature and attack, and let's say he just took the damage, didn't block, there's also my video about blocking and enter the battlefield triggers, that'll be in the top right. But if he didn't block, he would take 1 damage, or he or she, and I would gain 1 life. So, now we're going to move on to flying. So basically, oh, I know what I missed. Missed another one. 1 second. It's right here. There we go. So, we're going to go on to flying. Basically means creatures with flying can't be blocked by creatures, can only be blocked by creatures with flying or with reach. We'll talk about reach later. So now we have this card. Oh, here. Okay, so this is a little bit about Indestructible. So Defender. A creature with Defender can attack. There are some things where it's like creatures with Defenders can attack for 1 turn. There are cards like that, but we'll go on to Indestructible as well. This isn't exactly Indestructible, but kind of sums up what it means. Basically says, if something were to take lethal damage, so let's say I blocked this and it was a 20/20, and it was lethal damage, but it had Indestructible, it wouldn't die. And if someone would say, hey, I play this card, and it says destroy target creature, if it had Indestructible, nothing would happen. So we're going to move on to haste and first strike. So first strike basically means exactly what it says. It deals damage before. So if this card was to attack this card would attack once before this card attacked, and then this card would die because this card got attacked before it could even attack back. And then there's always haste. Haste basically means it's not summoning sick. Summoning sickness is basically when a creature enters the battlefield, it can't attack the turn. It can't attack the first turn it's there. But if it has haste, it attacks right away. So we're going to move on to double strike, which means basically it has first strike, so it has first strike and normal damage. So this card would deal, let's say it was this card versus this card. So this card would deal first strike damage, and then it would deal normal damage. It's like a double attack. So this doesn't happen when creatures fight, it would just deal 1 damage. But otherwise, more first strike. This is prowess. So prowess is like whenever you cast a spell, we'll talk more about spells, enchantments, sorceries, instants, stuff like that. It gains +1/+1 until the end of turn. If I were to cast a random spell, like that one, this would become a 2/3. If you want to do our video about combat, it'll be in the top right-hand corner. So we're going to move on to this creature. So we're going to talk about Flash and Reach. So basically, Flash means this can be cast at instant speed. So let's say I have this card. I could cast this card as fast as I could cast this card. We'll talk more about instants and sorceries in a different video. And then we have Reach. So Reach is basically, if this card was to attack, it can be blocked by this card. But if this card was to attack, it can't. This card can block this card, and this card can be blocked by that card. But this card can't be blocked by that card. So that's kind of the idea. Like, Reach just means it can block creatures with flying. Then we'll move on. Okay, we already did that. Okay. So this is 2-in-1. So Menace and Vigilance.
Here's a reminder.
Alexa,
Play big.
stop. Sorry about that. So basically what that means is that Menace means you can't, let's say this guy was attacking both of these guys. It would have to block with 2 creatures instead of just 1. And then Vigilance means instead of attacking, it just attacks. It doesn't need to tap to attack. Now we're going to move on to this. We're going to talk about Death Touch and Hex. So Death Touch basically means if it deals damage to a target, it will die unless it has indestructible. Yeah. And then Hexproof means it can't be the target of spells or abilities. So I don't have a good example here right now. But yeah. Let's see. So this is a good example. We're not going to talk about the mutate. That's like something different. We'll talk about that later. So this card wouldn't be able to mutate and then take out this card of the game because this has hexproof. So we're going to move on to did that. Okay, straight on to mutate. Okay, so mutate basically means you cast it for its mutate cost. It can mutate with another creature. So a lot of them have, whenever this creature mutates, do X. So you may do X. So, like, if I were to mutate this card onto another card with mutate, it would have a lot of effects. So I'll see if I missed anything, but otherwise that's the base of most of the effects that you need to know when playing MTG. Hope you liked it, and I will see you later. Bye.